It's really exciting to be here in Boston to see the meeting run smoothly. I feel it is the biggest reward to see the success of this meeting after all the planning and developing of this meeting for such a long time.
I've talked to a lot of colleagues at the meeting who have kind of echoed the sentiment that it's just so much better to do this in person and have those little chats and conversations and to catch up, because it's really the people that make the science and the research rewarding.
Some of the highlights of this meeting include actually random ad hoc conversations in the hallways with all of my colleagues and friends that I haven't seen in so long. Many of us have been meeting on Zoom only or going to very few meetings, and so the MRS brings together such an international community of all people who are material science aficionados. So seeing old friends and colleagues is definitely a highlight.
I was very impressed to see that the number of attendees back to the pre-pandemic level, which is very exciting. And another highlight as a meeting chair, just in the poster awards, there are just so many awards. It's very hard to make the final selection among all the great work.
For me, it's that sense of energy at this meeting, right? Coming out of the pandemic, I love those chance conversations you have outside in the hall, outside of a session, where you start chatting, and the next thing you know, you've been there for half an hour and somebody's opening up their laptop and you're looking at data, and then you're going to lunch, and it turns into like a 2-hour scientific conversation about things. So for me, the highlight has been seeing that return to energy as we get more and more of the community back together in one place.
The amount of resources that we were provided by the wonderful MRS staff was perfect. And so while the job of the meeting chairs is very challenging and involved, it's not ambiguous.
It's exciting to be the meeting chair, a lot of work, and MRS staff provide a lot of support. My advice to the future meeting chairs is to work with MRS headquarters team, do a great job, and enjoy the process.
Coming into the 50th year of MRS, I'm excited to have us back in San Francisco. It's close to where I'm from, so we're going to come in force in our group and be part of it. And I think it's a good chance to kind of think about where MRS has come over the years and everything that it does for the society. And I think we're at a point where we're also changing the future directions, and it kind of starts a new era for MRS as well.